The third question, which is visible in the screen, y of t is equal to x of t by 2. Copy this question, y of t is equal to x of t by 2. So we are going to check whether the system has the properties as per the question. So the first property which we are going to verify is the linearity property. So just write the first equation by yourself. The first equation is nothing but y of t. See, originally how will I get y of t? Y of t is obtained by performing the operation. As per the prescribed book, it is capital H, but here I have taken from the other books, so I am taking t as the operator, so that doesn't matter. T of x of t. If I perform the operation on x of t, I will get y of t. But as per the question, my y of t is equal to x of t by 2. Okay, so this should be written for all the problems. So now listen, linearity property, I will explain in a simplest way. So linearity property is you take t of a, you have taken a variable here, a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. This you have to write by yourself. So now the right hand side, I will tell you how to write it. The right hand side is, you see the question. So in the question, where your x of t term is there, that term you are going to write in terms of x1 and x2 along with the scaling factor a and b. So I'm just writing here. So what I will do is I will write scaling factor, and this x of t by 2 I will write for the first input. So this I am writing by myself as per the question. Then plus, next is b into the same x of t by 2 I will write for the second input, x2 of t by 2. So what we are doing is, the given question x of t by 2 we are writing in terms of x1 and x2. Along with that, we are just using the scaling factor a and b. So I hope now you understood how to write the right hand side of this equation, linearity equation. So after writing the right hand side, then the analysis is very important. The analysis is, I should just see whether this x1 of t by 2 can be written in terms of t of x1 of t, because here I have given the relation x of t by 2 is equal to t of x of t. So I should see whether I can write my x1 of t by 2 in terms of this operator. Yes, definitely I can write in terms of this operator. So I can write the scaling factor remains same. So a of a into t of x1 of t. Similarly, here b we will keep as it is. This x2 of t by 2 can be written as t of x2 of t. So when you get the right hand side like this, a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t, then we can say that the system is linear. So I hope I am very much clear. So we will see some more problems where the system is non-linear also. Okay. So I hope, is it clear? The system is linear. The proof. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now time invariance. So time invariance, listen carefully. I am using the operator. Time invariance says that originally my input is, I will assume that my input is x of t. In general, I am writing this left hand side first initially. So x of t. Then what my time invariance says? My time invariance says the operation I have to perform on x of t with the shifted version, time shift. So this is the general formula or equation I have to write for the time invariance at the left hand side. So as per this, I have to modify my input. Originally, my input is x of t by 2. But what my operation says, I have to shift by t naught. So originally my input is x of t by 2. That x of t by 2 I am shifting by t naught. That's it. So this I will keep it as equation 1. This I will keep it as equation 1. So the next equation is, I am writing my output y of t minus t naught. I'm writing my output y of t minus t naught, y of t minus t naught. So y of t minus t naught is completely different. So how I am writing? Wherever t is there in the question, the complete t should be replaced with t minus t naught. That is the difference between this operated, this t operation. T is the operation, what it will do? It will just introduce minus t naught. Whereas this y of t minus t naught, what it says is,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
my voice is breaking. Is it audible now?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I can hear you
Yes,
now.
ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Maybe some network problem. Okay. Uh, if my voice is clear, I will continue. Can I continue?
It's clear, ma'am.
Yes, okay, fine. So I hope you understood the difference. If I use the t operator, then I have to just introduce minus t naught. That's it. If I use y of t minus t naught, wherever t is there in my question, the complete t should be replaced with t minus t naught. So then I will get x of t minus t naught by 2. This is my second equation. Now I want you to just compare it. Is the equation 1 and 2 right hand sides are equal? Is it coming equal?
No,
Right?
ma'am.
No. So if it is not equal, then as per the time invariance property, my y of t minus t naught should be equal to t of x of t minus t naught. Since the right hand sides are not equal, I am writing the left hand sides are also not equal. Okay. So instead of writing the given system is time invariant, I can also write it as the given system is time variant. Okay. See, in the exam, no, not always the signals and system faculty will come and do the valuation. So anybody can come and do the valuation. They may not know the things properly. So for safer side, I want you to write both the answers. Both the answers in the sense, you should write not system is not time invariant, because they will search for the word invariant. Okay, so you write both the answers for the safer side, because anybody will do the valuation, not only the signals and systems faculty. So the system is not time invariant, therefore you can write system is time variant. Is it clear? I hope everybody is writing in your notebook. So it is very simple. I think compared to yesterday, today you feel comfortable in the analysis of linearity and the time invariance. Okay. So shall I proceed to the next property?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the next property is memoryless. So memoryless, I'm going to give you a hint. Okay. Memoryless and causal. For that, I'm going to give you the hint. So before we solve it, I want you to write that hint. Okay. The hint says that, okay, if your
Yes,
y of t, if your y of t is equal to x of scaling factor, you know what is the meaning of scaling factor? X of scaling factor multiplied with this t. So if your input is in this format, for example, in my third question, I have t by 2. That means my scaling factor is 1 by 2. If your output is equal to input is in terms of scaling factor. Scaling factor means your t, the time should be multiplied with some scaling factor. Then closing your eyes, you can judge that the given system is not memoryless. Please write this hint in your notebook. Later we will analyze for the current problem. So this is applicable for any problem. At what condition? If your output is equal to the input is having the scaling factor multiplied with the time t. So if your question in this format, then closing your eyes, you can write the answer as the given system is not memoryless. Okay, and also you can write the given system is non-causal. So these two hints you should not forget. See, because giving
Yes.
justification is, somebody was, any doubts? Anything? Okay. So I hope you have written this hint in your notebook. So memoryless system, causal, I have given the hint. If the question is in that pattern which I have just discussed now, then the system is not memoryless, not memoryless. That means the system is having memory. And here the system is non-causal. That means the system is non-causal. It is not a causal one. Okay. So I will just give the clarification for the current problem. So how to analyze it? So listen, when your output is y of t is directly related to x, the function x, then before coming to the conclusion of memoryless and causal, we should try to substitute some values like how we have done in the earlier class. If your output is not directly equal to x, if it is in terms of e power x something, I don't know what will be the value of e. So directly based upon the term in the bracket of x, I will say that it is memory system or it is memoryless system. So how do I take the decision if it is in e power case, e power? So e power, I do not substitute the value for t. Directly, just a glance, seeing the question itself, I can come to the conclusion. Suppose if the bracket of x of t is having +1, or if it is having -1. So based on that, I will predict that it is a memory system or memoryless system. For example, if it is x of t -1, right? Minus says that it is a past value. So I can say the system is having memory. If it does not have anything in the bracket, if it is just x of t, then also I can say that the output depends only upon the present value of the input. So the system is present value, only present value means the system is not having memory. So here I am not substituting the value for t because I don't know how to calculate e power x of 2 or e power x of 3 like that. So that type of problems, based upon the bracket value, you can predict directly whether it is memoried or memoryless, etc. But if your output is directly related to x, then I have to substitute the value for t, then I have to come to the conclusion. So let me take t is equal to 2 here, y of 2. My y of 2, if t is equal to 2, then my x is nothing but 2 by 2, which is equal to 1. So 1. My 2 is ahead of 1. That means I can say this 1 is the previous value or past value. So the 2 is a bigger number. So when I substitute t is equal to 2, I could get the x of 1 as the answer. So this 1 is lower than this number 2. So this 1 says that it is a past value. So if it is a past value, then I cannot say the system is not having memory. I have to say the system is having memory, or instead of calling the system is having memory, we can also write it as the system is not memoryless. Am I clear here? Is this analysis is clear, everyone? Can anybody reply?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now similarly causal also. Causal also the same condition is applicable. If y is directly related to x in the given question, then I should substitute the value. So here I am substituting t value as 4, -4. If I substitute t value as -4, then I have in the question x of t by 2. T by 2 is nothing but -4 by 2, which is -2. So -2, the -2, what it is saying? So -2, it is ahead of your value -4. So here we are considering minus, -2 is bigger than -4, right? So in -2 is bigger. So if you consider the minus, then I can say that the system is also depend on the future value. So the given system is non-causal. See, substituting this value, you may lightly get confused because of the minus value. So that's why I have given the hint. If the question is y is equal to x of scaling factor multiplied with t, then you just write the given system is non-quotient. That's it. So for the other problems, I will ask you, if the question comes in this pattern, I will ask you the answer, you should tell me. Okay. So now the next thing is stability. Stability, I will tell you which system will be unstable. But so far, this questions, all the questions which we discussed comes under stability. So stability, you can see if input is x of t, magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to bx less than infinity, then my output magnitude of y of t is equal to, as per the question, y of t is x of t by 2. So the magnitude of x of t by 2 is less than or equal to by. Here it is by less than infinity. Okay. So again, uh, if your output is directly equal to x of t, then always the problem is stable. If you have product here, that means if you have a scaling factor, like if you have amplitude in scaling factor in amplitude place, you know, this is your amplitude. If your scaling factor means whatever is there in the bracket of x, if that is multiplied along with x of t, then the system will not be a stable system. So that we will see in other problems. So you should not have this product. If you have the product, then I can say my output will not be bounded, because the t can take any value. If this bigger value of t multiplied with x of t, then I cannot say my outputs will be in the bounded range. It can be out of the range. So I will tell you the hint for this unstable with the help of other problem. So if nothing is there outside the x, if anything is not multiplied with x, then all those problems comes under stable only. Okay. So now I will go to the next problem. So I want you to just solve this fourth problem along with me. The remaining problem you can just understand and later you can copy down in your notes. So this fourth problem, so as I earlier said in the previous problem, I have to keep y of t is equal to t of x of t, which is equal to the given question t into x of t. Okay. So now the next step is, for linearity, I have to write at the left hand side t of a x1 of t plus b x2 of t. The right hand side, what I said, whatever is there in the question, you have to just write it. So t is t only, but this x I will be writing in terms of x1 and x2 along with the scaling factor. That is the procedure we always follow. So it is a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. Wherever this whole x of t term is there, you are replacing with a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. Along with that, you have some other term. That term you have to keep as it is. So now the next step is I have to multiply it. I have to multiply this t inside. So if I multiply t inside, I will get a into t x1 of t plus b into t x2 of t. Now if scaling factor is taken separate, this t into x1 of t, as per the question, I can relate it to t into x of t. That means t into x1 of t, and here plus b into t into x2 of t. So it is exactly following the linearity concept. So I can say my system is linear. I hope compared to yesterday's class, now I think you are familiar a little bit how to analyze and how to do the substitutions. So am I right? The linearity is fine now. There is no problem.
No, ma'am.
Yes. Now the time invariance, without moving the slide, can we just discuss how to find a time invariance? See, the first step is t of x of t minus t naught. I have to write. If I take the operation, then I have to just use minus t naught. Okay, so because I'm using operation t, how I have to write my right hand side? My right hand side is t as per the question, t into x of t. So x of t minus t naught I will write. So this is my equation 1. But my next step is, you all know very well, I am writing now y of t minus t naught. Here there is no operator t. If I write y of t minus t naught, then my right hand side, wherever t is there, everywhere I have to write t minus t naught. So that is the difference between the operator t and just y of t minus t naught. So it is x of t minus t naught. So now can you keep this equation as equation 2 in your notebook? Now you compare equation 1 and 2. Is it matching the right hand sides? Is it matching?
No, ma'am.
No. So because what is the problem we are facing? T minus T naught is here. Here it is just T. Since the right hand sides are not matching, the left hand sides are also not matching. If it is not matching, can anybody tell me what is your conclusion?
Time variant.
Time variant. Very good. But I told you to write both the words in the answer because evaluators may not know the terminologies properly. So you should write the given system is not time invariant. So it is time variant. I hope I'm not confusing you people. Okay. So now, see in this question, my y of t is equal to, as per the question, my y of t is equal to t into x of t. Listen, inside the bracket of x, I do not have any scaling factor. If I do not have any scaling factor, directly I have to look it. If I look, I can say it depends only on the present. Okay, because this t will not be, if I substitute t as 5 at the left hand side, my right hand side also I will get 5, x of 5. So there is no scaling factor. If there is no scaling factor, directly you can have a conclusion that the system is system is a memoryless. Okay, the system is memoryless, and also the system is causal. So the reason we can say the system output depends upon the present value of the input, so it is memoryless. And also you can say the output does not depend upon the future value. Future value means you should have plus some numbers. So it is having only t. So I can say it is causal. So I hope you understood this. See, now we are going to discuss how to declare the given system is unstable. I have told earlier itself. See, I should not have any amplitude scaling. You know what is the meaning of amplitude scaling? See, x of t is having amplitude scaling factor t. If you get the question like this, then definitely the system will not be stable. So I will write as per the formula. So magnitude of x of t less than or equal to bx less than or equal to infinity. Then magnitude of y of t is equal to, as per the question, magnitude of y of t. The y of t is magnitude of t into x of t. If I split it, it becomes, it is a product. See, magnitude of t comes separately and magnitude of x of t comes separately. So here I have some additional factor multiplied with my original input x of t. So if some huge number is multiplied with x of t, then if t is infinity, then my output is also infinity. I should not have infinite answers. I should have only finite answers. So because of this reason, so I have written here as t tends to infinity, my output y of t also tends to infinity. So I can say the system is unbounded. Okay, unbounded. That's why the system is unstable. So I hope seeing the question itself, now you understood how to analyze the given system is memoryless, causal, and unstable. But the first two properties you have to solve and you have to write it. Linearity and invariance. You have to solve it 100%. But for the other three properties, which I am showing you in the screen, memoryless, causality, and stability, just looking the question pattern itself, you can have a conclusion. Okay. So that hints, if we solve number of problems, you keep understanding the hint, how to judge it by seeing the question itself. See, now the next question, from here onwards, you can just see the screen. No need to write it, but I want you to just answer me. Okay. So y of t is equal to x square of t. So I told this first equation you have to write at any cost. Y of t is equal to t of x of t equal to x square of t. The next, under linearity, you know the left hand side is this, but the right hand side I told already how to write the right hand side. So right hand side, whatever is there, that I have to write. X square of t I have to write in terms of scaling factor and x1 and x2. So how to write that? A into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. So as per the question, everything should be squared. Everything should be squared. Okay. So now Because it is square, I'm going to just expand it just for your understanding purpose in the screen. So I will write here, it is a plus b the whole square. So a square, that means a square into x1 of t square plus 2ab into x1 of t into x2 of t plus b square into x square x2 of t square. So now I want you to just analyze here. So I will just take different color. So when I analyze here this a square, I can keep a square, and I can write this x1 square of t as t of x1 of t. Is my writing is visible, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, plus, can anybody tell me how to write the second term? Second term, is it following the question? The question is, I should have x square, then only I can replace with t. The second term is an extra term which we are getting here. So the second term is extra. Because of the extra term, second term, and my last term is b square t of x2 of t. See, as per the formula of linearity, at the right hand side, I should have only a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. But here I am getting a square, b square, and as well I am getting the odd term. Which is the odd term? The 2 into ab x1 of t into x2 of t. So because of that, I can say I have written the conclusion. I have not expanded in my notes, but I have proved why we are writing not equal to, because of the reason which I have told in my expansion. So it is not equal to a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. Therefore, the system is non-linear. I think this is the first problem we are seeing. It is non-linear. I don't know whether the earlier problem followed non-linear property. Where the earlier problems also had non-linear property. Can you check?
Yes, ma'am. First one we have, ma'am.
Okay, first one because of e power, right? E power that came as a product. Okay, very good.
Yes, ma'am.
So now a time invariance, you all know very well how to do it. See, t of x minus x of t minus t naught means only have to write in x square of t with only minus t naught. That's it. So this is your equation 1. And the next is equation is y of t minus t naught means wherever t is there in the question, everywhere that should be replaced with t minus t naught. So if I do that also, I feel that my equation 1 and 2 right hand sides are same. Since my right hand sides are same, definitely my left hand sides are also same. So what is my left hand side? T of x of t minus t naught is equal to y of t minus t naught. I hope I am very much clear. So what is my conclusion here for this property? The system is time invariant. See, why I am explaining in detail all the properties, I will tell you later, because I have just opened the series of question papers here in the next tabs. Okay, I will show you. Single problem they have asked for 8 marks. Okay, so if I solve more problems in the class, if I explain more problems in the class, you will be much familiar. For that purpose only I am explaining in detail. That's it. So now seeing the question, can anybody predict whether the system is memoryless or memoried? My question now, y of t, is it dependent on the scaling factor of the input x? So question is x square of t. I told if there is a scaling factor here, I said that is not a memoryless, that is not a caution. Then opposite to that is, since here there is an absence of scaling factor, I can readily say that the system is memoryless and the system is caution. Is it right?
Yes, ma'am.
And but you should give the explanation, no, because why the system is memoryless. For that you can write this: output depends only on the present value of the input. And for causality, what you will write? The output does not depends upon the future value. So like that, you have to just give your explanation. So all these things you can write in your notebook later after, I think I have circulated these notes. If not, I will circulate it today. So stability, I said, for if question is in which format, the system will be stable and unstable, I said. The stability, the question should not have the product along with x of t. Then only I will call that system is unstable. Here in this question, it does not have any product. See, outside x square of t, I do not have any product in terms of t. That means t square into x square of t, like that I do not have. So obviously my system is stable. And you know how to write the stability condition. So this format, if you miss it in the exam, the marks will be cut. Okay. So now the next hint I am going to give. And if you see now in my notes, I have put star for third problem. So when you write the notes, you can put star. That star problem, what it says is, I have seen repeatedly in some question papers. So the third problem is with star. And the sixth problem which I am going to discuss right now is also star. So I made it as star because that is also repeatedly asked in the question paper. Okay. So here also I am going to give a hint for the last three properties. But first two properties you have to solve and you have to analyze. Do I need to explain in much detail, or shall I just tell the important things for all the problems? Do I need to explain in detail again all the problems? Okay. See, y of t is equal to t into x of t, which is equal to d of x of t by dt as per the question. And the left hand side, you know how to write. The right hand side, I told how to write the right hand side. In the question where x of t is there you have to write a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. Along with that, you have d by dt differentiation. That also you are putting along with the expression. So once you have done it, you have to expand it. When you expand it, you will have scaling factor a outside, and d of x1 of t plus b into d of x2 of t. So you know how to write this d of x1 of t by dt, because it is equal to t of x of t. Since here you have subscript 1, this t x1 of t plus b into t x2 of t. So if you see, the left hand side and right hand side follows the linearity concept, so the system is linear. And the next time invariance is very important. First you will write t of x of t minus t naught. So what is the speciality of t of x of t minus t naught? So in the question where t is there you will write only minus t naught. Then the next step is you will write y of t minus t naught. Here again, what is the concept? Wherever t is there in the question, the complete t should be replaced with t minus t naught. So here I'm getting the right hand sides equal, so my left hand sides are also equal, so the given system is time invariant. So now I'm going to give you the important hint for the memory, causal, and the stability. So listen, any problem if you have a question with differentiation or integration, if you have differentiation of input x of t or integration of input x of t, then you please make a note, it comes under not memoryless only, always. This is another hint I am giving here. Okay. See, and the meeting may get disconnected in another 1 minute. Till then I will discuss and you have to join back immediately for another one meeting. Okay. So I am giving you the hint, new hint. If the question is having differentiation or integration of x, then your output is always not memoryless. Okay. And also the system is always causal. So not memoryless and causal. You have to write for integration or differentiation of the inputs. Am I clear here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.